Hello, everybody. On behalf of Cadence, our people organization, and the talent acquisition team, and our very precious clients, I want to welcome you to our virtual open house to learn more about a profession in applied behavior analysis, or more commonly known as ABA. My name is Tammy Fornelius, and I'm the head of talent acquisition. The goal and title of our event, Paid RBT Certification Training, is to teach you about how Cadence can help you pursue a career in ABA by first becoming a registered behavior technician. The amount of people diagnosed with autism and other psychologically related conditions has increased tenfold in the last 40 years. Today, over 3 million people in the US are living with autism-related disorders. Fortunately, a wide range of therapies are now available to help these individuals reach their maximum potential, and the Bureau of Labor Statistics has projected a 20% job growth in the next 10 years for those who work to help individuals living with these development disabilities. The job growth is much faster than the average for other occupations, and the job market looks very promising for ABA technicians, and we are here to share with you the steps you can take to work in this very important and life-impacting field. I would like to introduce to you Paula Braga-Kenyon, who is our Chief Clinical Officer. She has a bachelor's in psychology, a master's degree in applied behavior analysis from Northeastern University, and has earned her PhD in behavior analysis from Western New England College. Paula is also a board certified behavior analyst at the doctoral level, and she is also an adjunct faculty at Northeastern University. Paula will be talking about the ABA industry and Cadence's mission to serve individuals diagnosed with autism. Next will be Amanda Scoggins, who will head up our Bay Area regional training for behavioral technicians and also works as a community development liaison. Amanda holds a bachelor's in child and adolescent development and a master's degree in applied behavior analysis, and she is also a board certified behavior analyst. Amanda will talk to us about the vital role a registered behavior therapist plays in the life of someone diagnosed with autism and the steps required to becoming a registered behavior therapist. I will then round out today's information by telling you how to apply to our program and help you start changing lives as a registered behavior technician. I now present to you Paula. Take it away, Paula.
Thank you, Tammy. Hey guys, so good to have all of you here. Tammy already introduced me, so I'll add just a couple of things. One of the things I want to add is that I am from Brazil, so hence my kind of broken English. And I moved to the United States actually to be a technician. So it was a very exciting time where I started by working with clients. Actually, at that time, I started with adults and then later on worked with children. And I also worked in a residential facility and with step-intensive unit clients. So I had a lot of different experiences, and every single one of them were so exciting. So this job is like something that once you get in, you don't want to get out because it's so fun. So let me tell you a little bit about who is Cadence and why I think you all should be interested in joining us. Cadence is a new company. We are a little bit over a year and a half. We founded Cadence with the support, financial support from a very well-known private company that was interested in creating a high-quality autism organization. So our Chief Executive Officer, Lenny Fritz, he asked me to join him in finding some companies that were like already super great quality and putting them all together. So it's super exciting because it's new, and we were able to get so far companies across 6 different states. We have over 15 subdivisions, and we have currently serving over 1,300 clients and families that really need our help. So the nice thing about really working for a company like Cadence is that the work you do not only is challenging, but a fun type of challenging, but you're helping others, right? So it's really kind of cool and reinforcing to be able to help others. But another thing that is really cool about Cadence is that we are together building this company from ground zero, right? And what we want to build is a company that we all always wanted to work for, and we invite everyone, all the technicians, every scheduler, anyone, every recruiter, everyone that works at Cadence is part of building this company. And we are together building a company that is phenomenal. Let me tell you a little bit about why it's phenomenal. Our mission, I think it's the first thing that comes to life to me, that it makes it be such an important organization. We are trying to enable people to live their absolute best life. And when we talk about people, we're not talking just about the clients that we serve, but we're talking about all the team members. So the technicians, the supervisors, myself, my boss, my CEO, we're talking about all the schedulers, all the recruiters. We're talking about every administrative that is in each clinic. We're talking about the families. So it's extended to anyone that touches Cadence. You will have, it would be living a better life. We really hope to do that by doing three different things. One is to provide the best client experience. And again, we want the families and the clients to have like a super easy experience. When they call, someone answers, someone that is kind, that's going to help them through it. When we have a new team member, we want that team member to have the same experience. So in a little bit, Amanda's going to explain to you all how do we kind of like hold your hands through the process of joining Cadence, becoming a registered behavior technician. And our goal is that your experience would be incredible. And if we can do those two things, if we can provide a great experience to our clients and to our team members, we believe that we're going to achieve the best clinical outcomes. And that's kind of part of my job. So what I do is really ensure that we have the best clinical quality and that our training programs are like the best possible so folks can have great skills to go out there and serve our clients. Guys, just a reminder that in the chat, you can, as I'm talking, feel free to drop questions. We'll have time at the end as well, but feel free to start adding them. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about our values, because I also think our values are very unique. I have been in the field. I've been a behavior analyst for over 20 years, and I'll tell you that the company values that we have created, to me, guide every action that we do on a daily basis. So our first value is to be people-centered, and that means that we put people first, and we ensure that we understand the individual's needs of everyone by listening. So one thing that is interesting about Cadence is that, I am, the chief clinical officer, but if a technician has a question, they all have my cell phone number, they all have my email. We are very easy to reach, and we respond, and we listen, we understand everybody's needs. We are kind. We really are kind people. Every time that we take action, we think about, is this action a kind action? Are we really living our values? We also are very collaborative. So, Tammy mentioned that I teach at a university. I do. I also present at conferences. We work with several different organizations. Our CEO is one of the founders of CAS, which is another autism kind of like advocacy type of group. And, we are always looking for more types of collaborations. And we collaborate internally. So this, the people organization, which you may know as HR, we don't even call it HR, because for us, everything is about people. So our people organization works very closely to our training team, that works very closely to all other teams. So it's really like an ongoing collaboration across all the different internal lanes here. Another very important value is ethical. We are always ethical. We have an ethical compliance department that is led by Tammy, a different Tammy, who has been in the field for many, many years, and she really leads us to work on an environment that is very ethical at all times. We're also evidence-based, so the services that will kind of like train you to provide, and the services that we provide, from supervision, but even from like different operations, everything we do is based on science and research. So we do things that have been proven to work, right? Like, we're not going to try to do something that hasn't been demonstrated to work. So that means we're evidence-based. We're also pioneering, which is, to me, very exciting, because we're always trying new things, and we are trying to be very innovative. We are at Cadence really introducing things to our clients, to our therapists that are new, other companies are not even looking at. So super fun. And the last value, and Amanda, thank you for adding that to the chat, it's Kaizen. Kaizen is one value that we love. What it means is that as we are building this company that is phenomenal, everyone makes mistakes, right? And if what we do here is we empower anyone in the company that if they see something that is not working well, to raise their hands and say, hey, this is not working well. And it doesn't have to come from the leadership. Like any technician can say, hey, my schedule is not working, or hey, my technology is not working. And we are here to listen, to be kind, and to collaborate to fix any problems. So Kaizen means constant change to better. Like we are always trying to find ways to do things better. And it's very exciting. One other thing that differentiates Cadence is that from the very beginning, we created a diversity, equity, and inclusion committee. And that committee has really focused on creating resources for our teams, but also developing ways for all team members to have space to talk about, any topic, really. So we have town halls that are dedicated to this. We're presenting at conferences. We have technicians in our panel. And our statement in our DEI committee is that we are passionate about creating an inclusive environment and a therapeutic environment that promotes and values inclusion, diversity, and equity. Together, we shine bright. So this is, to me, is also something that I'm very proud of. Well, I'm not so sure where all of you are who have joined us today, but we are slowly spreading Cadence across the United States and hopefully someday international. But right now you can find us in all those different areas. So California, we have a heavy presence in California. We're in Sacramento, in Central Valley. We have a small presence in Los Angeles. We are in the Central Valley. You can find us in Colorado, in Atlanta, in Ohio. You can also find us in Portland and in San Francisco Bay Area. So today, one of the areas that we're really focusing is the Bay Area. So if any of you here in this call lives in the Bay Area and is looking for a phenomenal, fun environment to work, please stay and you're going to learn a lot more from Amanda, who is joining us here in a second. So if you guys if anyone has a question, I'm happy to answer them now. If you wanna add your questions to the chat, I can answer them later. And at the end of the presentation, we will also share with you all some contact information. So you can also send us questions later on after you get off this call, and you might say, oh, I forgot to ask that. Feel free to just add, because we'll be happy to engage and answer them. So I would like to next introduce to you guys Amanda. Tammy already told a little bit of Amanda's background to you. So the same way that I just added something short about myself, I want to add that Amanda is someone with such an incredible positive attitude and energy. She brings light to everywhere she goes. She's one of our regional training specialists, and she's in charge of really making sure that our therapists, our technicians, therapists, are super well trained, and she will explain this to you. But to us, the technician position is the most important position at Cadence, because it's the position that really is touching our clients. It's really helping them grow, and no one better than Amanda to be leading the training. So with that, Amanda, I would love for you to take the floor.
Okay, great. Thank you, Paula. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. Like Paula said, my name's Amanda Scoggins, and I'm the Bay Area Regional Training Specialist, and I'm also a Board Certified Behavior Analyst, or BCBA. And you're going to be hearing that acronym a little bit. Don't worry, there's a lot of acronyms when it comes to ABA, or Applied Behavior Analysis. And part of the reason why we have visuals on our PowerPoint is just to help you with the acronyms, because I've been in the field for a decade and I still have challenges with them. So we're all here, Kaizen. And today I will be chatting with you a little bit about what is an RBT, what the role of an RBT is, and the RBT certification process here at Cadence. So let's start off with what is an RBT. An RBT is a registered behavior technician who holds a certificate from the Behavior Analysis Certification Board, or the BACB. And they are supervised by BCBA, so Board Certified Behavior Analysts. And these are RBTs are individuals who work one-to-one with the clients. And clients with autism spectrum disorder and other related disorders. And what I'd like to orient you to right now is this wonderful visual that we have on this slide. And as you can see, Paula was talking a bit about our values. And as you can see here, clients are at the very center of our services here at Cadence. And the RBTs, or Registered Behavior Technicians, are the ones who are working directly with their supervisors and caregivers to provide the treatments necessary for our clients. So it's a really fun position if you love working with children. And all of the technical stuff is something that we will support you on here at Cadence on your onboarding with our training team. So let's talk a little bit about what the role of an RBT is. Thank you. So the role of a registered behavior technician is to provide the behavioral interventions to clients. And you might be wondering, oh my goodness, do I have to write these interventions? Do I have to choose these interventions? No, we make this really simple for you. The way that the BACB has it set up is that your supervisor will be the one writing those programs and training you on them. And here at Cadence, we have a training team to support you with that training as well. As a registered behavior technician, you're the one who is implementing those behavior interventions with the clients. You're the one who's collecting data and reporting that data to your supervisors. You're the one who's having direct communication with the families. And you are so integral, you're so vital to this process because you're the ones who learn about what are our clients' interests? What are their preferences? What are the things that they like to do? What are some skill gaps that maybe we didn't catch? All too often in ABA, there is a negative connotation about services. And that's because they didn't take the Cadence approach to it, which is client-centered. How can we make sure that we individualize every program that we have for the client that we're serving? Because two clients may both be working on the same thing, but they have completely different interests and completely different cultural backgrounds. And as an RBT, you're the one who's providing that information to the supervisors so that we can ensure that we are meeting that diversity, equity, and inclusion in our practice with our clients, as well as in our practice with supporting our registered behavior technicians and other team members with our company. And the really important thing is that the RBT is the one who is doing the direct behavior change. And the RBTs are the ones who are creating those socially significant changes in our clients so that they can access the environments that they want to. Here is an overview of the RBT requirements. And this is a wonderful visual that was provided to us by the BACB. You can see at the bottom of the link, it says the BACB's RBT handbook. And so the Behavior Analyst Certification Board is also aware that this information can be kind of hefty to talk about. So they've created visuals for us to really lean on and learn from and refer to in this process. And so there's an eligibility requirement that you have to meet in order to apply to sit for an RBT exam. And that eligibility requirement includes 18 years of age, high school diploma, passing a background check, receiving 40 hours of training, and completing a competency assessment. Once you've completed all of those things, you can apply, take the exam, and pass the exam. And then, of course, you're going to maintain your certification by doing a renewal once a year, adhering to the ethical and professional compliance code, and receiving ongoing supervision. And what's wonderful is that the BACB provided us with a minimum standards foundation, which is represented in this visual. And Cadence, in order to live out their values, has taken that a step farther by providing you with a training team that's consisted of regional training specialists like myself, regional training coordinator who works side by side with me, and lead behavior technicians that support you in this process from the minute that you start onboarding. From the minute that you sign your offer letter with us, that's when the support begins, because we realize that this seems like a really hefty process, and it's actually quite simple when you have that hand-holding or support. And the beautiful thing is that we really try and individualize the support for all of our behavior technicians, just like we individualize the support for our clients, because we realize that every behavior technician is also coming from a different background, a different educational background, a different cultural background. And our goal is to ensure that every team member is experiencing that high quality service in relation to who they are, because we know that if you're satisfied as a registered behavior technician, that you're going to go ahead and provide those quality services to our clients a lot easier. So let's talk a little bit about becoming an RBT with Cadence. So in order to meet the eligibility requirements, during onboard training, we provide the 40-hour training on the RBT task list that is required for that eligibility requirements. And the beautiful thing about the 40-hour training is that you're not just listening to a PowerPoint, you're not just watching people implement the information that they're training you on, you're also going to be participating in it. And you're going to get opportunities to have it modeled, to provide role play, and to really participate in that Kaizen process of getting feedback. Because we realize that you all are coming from a different place, and we're really excited about our science, and our goal is to get you super excited about it too. And once you finish the training, we provide a competency assessment that you do with one of the training specialists, and then you take your RBT exam. And in preparation for your RBT exam, Cadence has study guides that we provide. We also have lead behavior technicians that can sit down and do study sessions with you if you feel that you need that as well. And again, this is all individualized, and I'm really just giving you different options for what could potentially happen for you. I don't know about any of you, but taking tests is nerve-wracking for me. So I love being able to have study sessions. And I'd love for you all, if you want to take a moment in the chat to let me know how you feel about studying and taking exams. And I'm just going to take a moment to add my comment to the chat and just say that they make me nervous, And I love study support. All right, there we go. This chat is going to allow us to really understand who's joined us today, and it's an opportunity for you to participate. Oh, great question, Vanessa. How long does it take to become an RBT? That's a fantastic question. So the 40-hour RBT training takes 2 weeks, and that's paid through Cadence. The RBT competency assessment we complete in that 3rd week. And again, that is paid by Cadence. And once you've passed the RBT exam, it's now up to you, because the RBT certificate is your own. It actually follows you wherever you go. So it'll follow you throughout your lifetime, not just here at Cadence. And so it's really up to you. You can sit for the exam within the 3rd week of onboarding with us, and even the 4th. And again, it's up to how comfortable you're feeling with the information, and you can always reach out and request those study sessions, which we do pay for that as well, as long as you're studying with a lead behavior technician. But we can chat about that more when you onboard with us. But that's a great question. So anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks, it really depends on the individual. But we're here to support you in getting through it as soon as you want to get through it. We realize that everyone has a professional goal. And guess what? Money is very reinforcing. And to talk about that, in order to sit for the RBT exam, there are 2 fees that are required. One is to register on the BACB, and then the other is when you sit for the exam through the Pearson VUE, and Cadence reimburses for these. In fact, Cadence reimburses for that fee with the BACB, and we give you a code to apply for the exam on Pearson VUE, so you don't have to spend any money out of your pocket. Once you've sat for the exam and you've passed the exam, we then provide you with a support supervisor who will help you with maintaining that certificate. We are here to support you 100% of the way. And I see a lot of great comments coming in, and I really appreciate it. I'm gonna just take a moment before we move to the next slide. Is the exam provided by Cadence or State Board? Excellent question. So the exam is provided by the Behavior Analyst Certification Board. It is a nonprofit entity outside of Cadence that certifies all BCBAs, all RBTs. So it's outside of Cadence. However, Cadence does have a structured studying or study materials in order for you to sit for that exam. Great questions, y'all. Thank you so much for participating. All right, let's move on. Well, not move on from your questions. I want your questions. Let's talk a little bit about the growth opportunities here at Cadence. So the RBT is the most fundamental position that we have here at Cadence. You are the ones who are working directly with our children or with our clients. You're the ones who are out in the communities and really representing what we do here at Cadence. And we have these opportunities for growth for all of our registered behavior technicians that I'm going to briefly go through just so that you're aware that there are professional growth opportunities here for you. So our entry level is registered behavior technician, but like I said, our most fundamental position. And then we have senior behavior technicians who have worked here for a year or more and have had that clinical and administrative experience to allow them to be supportive of those newer team members joining us. And along with our senior behavior technicians, we also have lead behavior technicians. And those lead behavior technicians work closely with the regional training specialists to provide the training needs to the team members throughout their time with us. That goes from onboarding through maintaining your certificate. Just because you leave onboarding does not mean that training is done with you. We're here with you throughout your entire time. And those lead behavior technicians are really those liaisons that help keeping up to date with your needs. And it is a potential growth opportunity for you as a RBT. We also have opportunities to become program supervisors, regional training supervisors, clinical supervisors, and these are individuals who have caseloads and clinical directors who have caseloads of clients and are writing the programs that you're implementing with the clients. And then of course we have opportunities to become regional directors and even VP of regional operations. Our goal here at Cadence is to help you grow in the way that you want to grow. Thank you. So these are the ABA credentials that are provided by the BACB, so the Behavior Analyst Certification Board. And like I said, there's lots of acronyms. So you can see here that there are 4 acronyms, and it's actually a 3-tier model that the BACB has. See, I messed it up right there, but Kaizen, that the BACB has, and that RBT is our first and most fundamental position. And then comes our BCABA, and then the BCBA, and we also have BCBADs, and those are individuals holding that doctorate level. And our goal here at Cadence is to really build our foundation of RBTs and support you in that professional and educational growth that you so choose, individualizing that support throughout your time with us. Thank you all so much for taking the time to listen to me and for participating in the chat. I would love to open up for questions. If you want to unmute yourself, you can ask. I'm going to take a moment to look at the chat, so I'll be quiet for about 20 seconds if you want to unmute and ask any questions. Oh, Saeed, that is a great question. What is the fee structure? May I ask, are you requesting for the fee structure for the RBT certification?
Yes. What's the whole process? What's the fee structure like? And I gathered that you pay for the certification fees, but how about for the training and all that stuff, please?
Great question, Saeed. So we pay for all of the training here at Cadence. And that to me is so exciting because not only are we getting to share our joy of the science and of the field with every new team member, but you're also getting reinforced with that valuable money, because money really does keep us afloat here when we're adulting. So we pay for all of your training, which will be via Teams for right now, or tele-training, just because of the pandemic. And then once you have sat for the training, we then pay for you to take your competency assessment with us, because you'll either do it with a client or you'll do it remotely with us. And so we pay for that as well. What we don't pay for is your study time, unless you are studying with one of our trainers. And that is definitely an option. Past that, you're gonna have to apply on the BACB to sit for the RBT exam. And there's an initial fee of $45 that you do front, and we reimburse you for that fee. So keep that receipt. We're going to reimburse you for that. And then we give you a payment code that you use when the BACB sends you a link to Pearson VUE Testing Center. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the Pearson VUE Testing Center. It's just a testing center that, that people use for a multitude of certifications, including ours, but we give you a code for it. So you don't have to spend any money to apply or to sign up for an exam. And once you pass that exam, you'll submit that $45 receipt and we'll reimburse you right away. So did that answer your question?
Yes, it sure did. Thank you. Sorry, and you can skip that question that I asked. You answered that also.
Okay, fantastic. And I'm just going to be looking at questions really quick, so please feel free to unmute and ask anything. Ooh, Sharita, I'm so sorry if I butchered your name. I love your question. Are the BCBAs hands-on with clients or just the RBTs? Oh my goodness. So here at Cadence, we are all very passionate about working hands-on with our clients. And though the BCBAs don't spend as much time working one-to-one with our clients as our RBTs do, it's absolutely part of our client's journey with Cadence for a BCBA to spend some time one-on-one with that client to really understand their needs during the assessment period. And then throughout their time with us, either weekly or bi-weekly, so every other week, those BCBAs will continue to interface with you and your client, because that's the way that we ensure that we're providing those excellent services that are client-centered, that we're allowing you opportunities as an RBT to ask questions, to reach out, to get the support you need. One of my favorite hashtags, because I make up hashtags, is hashtag when in doubt, reach out, because we're here for you. So the answer is yes, BCBAs do work directly with our clients, but they are not as fundamental as our registered behavior technicians. And our goal is to ensure that you feel how fundamental your role is by the support that we provide you. Thank you for that thoughtful question.
Thank you. I actually have one more question.
Oh, please.
I wanted to know, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. We're all working from home. We're used to this.
I'm sorry. I just had one other question is, I guess, what's the difference between a BCBA versus someone who's an assistant BCBA?
So an assistant assessor or a BCABA?
BCABA.
Okay, so may we go back just one slide, please? Is that possible? Oh, thank you very, very much. So the difference between a BCABA and a BCBA is literally education, bachelor's versus master's. However, here at Cadence, we really do support all of our team members seeking that higher education. And we work to be flexible with your schedule so that we can be supportive in that process. But it's really just that a BCBA has a master's and some extra field experience, whereas a BCBA has less field experience and a bachelor's degree. Did that answer your question?
Yes. I have
great.
more, I'm sorry.
Keep them coming, I love questions.
So in terms of, I heard that you have to, with a BCABA and a BA, there's certain hours that you guys have to, we have to collect. So, I mean, like, what's the like unauthorized or the difference between collecting your hours?
So as a registered behavior technician, you actually have to have 5% of your hours supervised by a BCBA, 5% of your direct service hours. So if you're providing, oh my goodness, math is gonna get me right now. If you're providing 10 hours of service, 5% of that has to be supervised by a BCBA. And we realize that some of you will also be working towards your BCBA credentialing, and we can work with those registered behavior technicians to make sure that you're getting hours towards that certification as well.
Awesome, thank you.
Oh, thank you for asking. And Saeed, you are absolutely correct. It's all free, which is amazing. It's free, engaging, enriching, and we're all really passionate about what we do here. Like Paula, I started working with adults with differing abilities, and I moved into working with children later on in my ABA career. And it's been an absolute passion of mine to ensure that the individuals that I support are getting to expose to the quality of life that they want, the things that they're interested in. And starting early on is the way that we can help our clients' families see them from that positive light of, these are what we're working on. This is really what we're communicating about. So if you are interested in working with little humans, we have young children as well as teenagers, and helping them meet their life goals, then this is really the role for you. And like most people in this field right now, I didn't even know what ABA was until my first class in my master's. I had applied and got accepted, and I still didn't know what it was. And that's why I'm so excited that we're having forums like this so we can teach people about this role. I thought I was going to be a teacher, but behavior analyst suits me so much more. Thank you for all the questions. Please continue to add them in the chat, and I'm going to pass this on to Tammy. It was such a pleasure to get to speak with you all.
All right, Amanda, thank you, and great work. I think you've helped all of us get really energized about Cadient and what we do here, and about the role of an RBT. So now that you know more about ABA and how to become a registered behavior technician, we would like to share with you why we think you should apply to our program and start a career in ABA with Cadient. First, it's who we are. We have a whole team of passionate people, just like Paula and Amanda. At Cadient, we are our people, and our people are passionate about serving individuals with autism spectrum disorder. We are great at what we do, and we love doing it. Individually and as a community, we help our clients to live their absolute best lives. We want you to come to Cadient to learn. Cadient is known for our rich mentorship experiences and our clinical support from a team of exceptional clinicians. You will participate in a wide variety of training and professional development opportunities. We offer free, live, and online continuing education units for professional growth once you have completed your RBT. We offer opportunities such as our annual Cadient conference and coffee talks, and other local and national uptraining events hosted by industry-leading experts. Our technicians are part of a defined career path, offering opportunities to grow and advance from RBT to a lead RBT, to the program supervisor, to a clinical supervisor, and beyond. We also think you can come to Cadient for your financial and physical well-being. We have a student pay down loan program. We have health and vision and dental benefits and access to an employee assistance program. We have 401k with a generous retirement savings match. We have paid vacation and sick days. We give tablets to all of our behavior technicians, and we also offer short and long-term disability and life insurance. We are also committed to the health and safety of our team members and clients. We have a robust safety and compliance department who have been actively helping us manage the COVID crisis by establishing very strong policies and practices to meet local, state, CDC, OSHA, and public health department guidelines. We conduct daily temperature checks and health checks. We require face coverings. We practice social distancing. We issue gloves, sanitizers, and disinfectant supplies. We also limit the number of team members, family members in any treatment settings. So if you are energetic, if you're passionate and compassionate, if you have at least a high school diploma or GED and a heart for working with clients with autism spectrum disorder or other related developmental disabilities, we want you to apply to our program today. And you can apply by visiting our career website at cadient.careers/ and then directly apply to the paid registered behavior technician certification training posting. Once you apply, your application will be greeted by someone on my recruiting team. And so my team is standing by waiting for your application. I feel like a tele-network here. So Courtney Gangness, she's on our call today. She represents the Bay Area. Ariana Carell, she represents Central Valley area. Ashley Bourne, she represents the San Francisco, San Jose, and Sacramento areas. Cheyenne Moore represents Atlanta. Vanessa Sarge represents Denver and Fort Collins, and then Anna Ruse in Portland, Oregon, and Vancouver. So you can apply to our program, and we will be back to you within hours of your application to tell you what the next steps would be. So with that, I want to see what questions that you have. So I saw a wage question, and I saw that Paula answered that. It does depend on where you are located as far as our hourly wage, but you are given a training wage. And once you graduate with your RBT, we give you another wage increase to reward you for achieving your RBT certification. What other questions do we have? Which person does the Alameda or Oakland area? So for Oakland, you can reach out to Courtney Gangness. Anna Rue also helps to cover the Oakland area, so they can help you out. There's Courtney responding back right there. All right. Well, we hope that you enjoyed learning a little bit more about ABA and what it takes to become a registered behavior technician. Really, our heart is to growing this profession and growing the number of technicians that are able to provide services to our very vital population. So we encourage you to apply. If you are still quite not sure, just reach out and have a conversation with us. But we ask that you do stay connected to us, that you keep on top of what's happening at Cadence and with autism. We thank you very much for your time today, and we wish you a great week. Thank you very much.